This boy wanted to impress his girlfriend on their first date, so he sped his car down the highway with his eyes closed. When he heard her screams, instead of braking, he floored the gas pedal. Marta, scared, started giving him directions, but at that moment a tractor appeared in front of them. After hearing his girlfriend's warning, Edward not only kept his eyes closed, but also swerved the car into the opposite lane. At the last second, just as he was about to crash, he jerked the wheel to avoid the tractor and laughed at her. Finally, he took the girl to a vacant lot and took out some black pills. He heated them over a fire and told her that all they needed to do was drop them in their eyes so they could be together forever. Hearing her boyfriend's words, the girl agreed. They dropped the liquid into their eyes and had fun, but the next day they didn't wake up. When Marta's parents found out, they were sad and puzzled because their daughter had always been a good girl. How could this have happened to her? But what they didn't expect was that night, at their daughter's grave, a loud noise would be heard and the wall would suddenly open. A figure dressed in white crawled out, pushed aside the stones from the ground, and took the photo that was underneath. Seeing that the person in the photo was herself, she understood what had happened. Though she had survived, her boyfriend hadn't been as lucky, and remembering their reckless behavior, she began to cry with regret. Marta then left, but strangely, she was very weak. She could barely walk and thought she was hungry, so she ran home and ate. But suddenly, she had difficulty swallowing the food she usually ate and vomited. At that moment, the noise alerted her mother who, upon seeing Marta still alive, couldn't believe her eyes. She touched her daughter's skin, which was strangely cold. At that moment, her father arrived, and the girl grabbed her clothes and fled. Seeing his wife's anguished crying, the man thought she was hallucinating. Soon, Marta ran out of the house and wandered aimlessly through the forest. But then, a group of armed men appeared. They called her by name and were looking for her. It was obvious they were after her. But why were they armed? The girl, suspicious, hid behind a tree. Later, she noticed something strange about her hands. Her palms had somehow turned black and her nails were peeling off. Then, her eyes also turned black. Without her knowing, she was no longer human.